1. Okay, we might be live. I might need to click it on YouTube. I do. Nope, it's already streaming. Okay, hello. Welcome, everyone. Connection is excellent, apparently. How's everybody doing?
But this isn't monetized, is it? I just got an ad.
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe it is.
Don't monetize your live streams, Quinn.
Oh, no. My mistake.
Greedy.
Oh,
Greedy.
I
Hey
read this
everyone,
at like
welcome. Come
midnight
in.
last night.
Apparently it's like 9 a.m. in America. Sleepy boys.
Yeah, I don't.
Come in, come in. We are going to the Starks on trial. Ooh.
Hmm. Yeah. Good point, Callum in the chat. Bran should be accused of being a witch. We'll get to that. Yeah, good to see people. I wasn't sure how many would be here because it is very early, and I don't know, I'm still waking up. But because of law school classes, this is probably the best time I have to stream today. So I figured I'd give it a shot. Also, Fantasy Haven is here.
You want to go?
If you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, that's me. It's me. I'm Haven. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. I'm Fancy Haven. Check out my channel. Fancy, you'll know me. You know me. I don't need to.
Oh yeah, he's got that.
I don't
Famous
need. Do I
blonde
need to
hair.
introduce myself? Yeah, the the world-renowned
Mm-hmm.
internet sensation known as the Real Bron, animated comparison of Book Bron with Show Bron, which I posted a few days ago and now has 100k views out of nowhere.
Jesus.
So that's lots of fun.
Well done, man.
No, I'm just kind of watching it happen. Like, oh, okay, that happened. Someone saying Quinn is too quiet or Haven is too loud.
I
You do
just saw
sound a
that.
bit
I'm going to increase
quiet
my
to
volume.
me. Yeah, you're a bit quiet to
Good.
me on Discord.
Is that better?
Better
Okay.
to me. How's the audio chat? Let us know. Also, remember to go full screen for your Canva.
Yeah, I am full screen already. I don't know if I can get rid of the top bar or not. If anybody knows how to do that on a Mac, and feel free to tell me in the chat. But I don't. I'm not sure.
The top. Oh, right. That's yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
hold
like
on.
I
Is it
said,
this
for me to
button?
F11.
I've done it. I've done it. Haha. Oh, I can't.
Yes, the boomers have worked it out.
I can't add anything to
Have you done it?
this. But
Oh no, no. You've. Hold on. Do you mean you've made the thing on Canva go like
the thing on
full
Canva is full
screen?
screen. Yes.
Um, filling the entire screen.
Yes.
Yeah, but that means you can't move anything around,
Correct.
right?
So I don't know if I can see it when you do. Try moving something. Okay. Yes, I can see it.
That work?
Yes.
Aha. So shall I do the moving
Yeah,
and then
you're the
you have full
puppeteer right
screen?
now.
Cool. This is stuff we should have prepared while, like, before we started
No, it's
live
fine.
streaming.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm forgetting. Oh shit, there are people here.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So who do we want to start with?
Sometimes you
jump
forget.
in?
Yes. So quickly add some context. In our last trial, we put the Lannisters, specifically Tywin, Cersei, and Tyrion, on trial, and basically what we're doing is we're taking them out of the world of Westeros and plopping them into modern day, and so we're charging them with real life modern day crimes. Does it make sense? No, we're doing it for fun, so why not? Last time we focused on US law. We can do whatever. Like the things I have a list of is UK law. I've got UK law up on my doc just because it was easier for me. Apparently your Quinn, your Quinn. Apparently your audio still isn't great according to someone.
Okay. Let's see. I'm increasing my volume. Is this better? I think.
That's better to me. That's a lot better. Yeah.
Okay. Great. 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 Great.
Nice. Okay. So who do you want to start with?
I'd say my gut says Ned, since he's the first generally.
The Lord, the Patriarch.
I could also see
Let's
a case
bring
for
Ned
Bran as
to
the
the
first chapter.
stand. I think Ned's a good start.
That's fair. Okay. What has Ned done other than treason?
I have you to say in your defense, Nedard. So, yeah. So, first off, I'm just going to throw it out there. You don't have to agree. Treason in the sense of Robert's rebellion. What are we doing with that? In the sense that he did rise up against the crown.
That's a good point.
As Tywin, we did charge him with treason, but I can't remember. I think it was specifically because he tricked the Mad
So
King. I can't remember.
here's what I'm going to say. I think that Ned is the only individual who rose up in Robert's Rebellion that I wouldn't necessarily charge with treason because
Okay.
of what happened to his brother and father. If anybody was actually justified in pursuing that war, I think it was him. Like,
Yeah.
Robert was upset about a
Yeah.
girl. Tywin was an opportunist. John Arryn was just kind of along for the ride. Ned actually had his family killed.
Yeah, I guess just because he was justified doesn't mean it wasn't treason. But I think just for the sake of not calling every uprising treason, we should probably just
Yeah. I always think more in the
leave it be.
defenses to it kind of thought
All
pattern.
right, like okay, I think for this wonderful kangaroo court, I, Judge Haven, will say he's pardoned of treason.
Of
Right.
that treason.
Of that specific treason. Excuse me. So, where does that leave us? Well, what happened at the end of the war? Bobby B sat at the throne. Ned Stark, he rode down to Storm's End to lift the siege, and it was lifted. And then he went to the Tower of Joy, where he went to rescue his sister. Now, this is not canon, but very likely Jon Snow is not his bastard, but is his nephew, Lyanna Stark's son. So if he took his nephew and pretended that Jon Targaryen, or whatever his name is actually Jon Snow, his bastard son, that's identity fraud, my friend.
I thought you were going to say kidnapping.
That is See, kidnapping, I'm not sure. You could argue that he's taking the role of a guardian as a family member, considering the mother was dead and there was no one
That's
else
true.
there.
But
He's sort of the next of kin.
is John the one committing identity fraud?
Well, his
Or is that
father is
victim
doing it
blaming?
on his behalf by lying to him.
Hmm.
John isn't doing it because he's unaware.
That's fair. I'll say, yeah, identity fraud works for Ned.
Now, having done some research, I saw that in the United Kingdom, identity theft or identity fraud can land you up to 10 years in jail if it's serious or systematic. I think changing the identity of a baby so that they grow up thinking that's who they are, that's as serious as it gets.
I would say so.
So that's got to be maximum. If the jury of our peers find him guilty, that's maximum 10 years.
Sounds good to me.
But of course, people might find him non-guilty.
I think because you picked the heading font,
Okay.
the spacing is like incredibly
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah, don't worry. There we go.
Okay, that takes us, I think,
Okay.
through Robert's Rebellion. I don't think he does anything during the Greyjoy
does.
Rebellion that is a war crime.
No, nothing. No, I don't think so.
And then
States
arriving at
part
the
of the
main
war, I might
series.
Well, so the main series. What do you have anything in particular? Because I've got something straight off the bat.
At least in terms, the main thing that comes to mind for me is potential treason against Joffrey.
I'm thinking earlier, so right at the start of A Game of Thrones.
Are you saying that executing the kid whose name I forget because they changed it in the show? was-
First degree murder, Your Honor.
That was
Remember, we're sucking him out and we're putting them in modern day. That's full on murder. He got a guy. He
If
knelt
we're-
him over a block, cut his head off.
If we're doing that, he's also he has the authority to do that. He's a lord.
Yeah, I forgot what argument we did last time. Were we saying that a lord enacting the laws of Westeros counted?
I
Or
don't
was it
think
that
we
we're
had
plucking
that-
them and charging them for everything they do that would be illegal in this world?
I don't think we had that exact circumstance last time. I don't think we've had anybody straight up executing somebody before. We had Tyrion killing people. We had Cersei killing people or having people killed. We had Tywin.
'Cause I'm imagining this guy has literally just appeared in a modern day court and
Mm-hmm.
he cut a guy's head off.
I
We're applying
I don't know.
common law.
I don't think we can count that personally.
What does the chat think? What do you think, chat?
Yeah, it's kind of
First
his
degree
duty
murder
as
for
a
executing
lord.
someone?
He's essentially like I don't know. He's the one passing the sentence and swinging the sword. It's kind of his job to do it. Will, I believe, was his name in the book. Thank you. It's been a minute since I've read a Game of Thrones. I'm currently
No,
rereading
Garrett.
Dance.
Garrett. Will is the point of view chapter in the
Oh,
prologue.
you're right. Will is who it is in the show.
In the yeah, they changed it around. I think just because they wanted the younger, vulnerable one to be the one who is executed.
Mm.
As in the pilot, they did execute Garrett, and then when they reshot it, they changed it to Will. So I'm guessing. I mean, again, I don't want to get too much in the weeds here, but I'm just saying if the whole point is that we're taking these characters and applying common law to everything they've done, I feel like if he cuts a man's head off, he cuts a man's head off. You know,
Yeah.
we're not judging them by the laws of Westeros; we're judging them by our laws.
I mean, I'm sure there are circumstances where beheading is justified in the modern day. I don't know how
If
you
this
guys
is
do
a
things over
kangaroo
there.
court, we're not doing a good job. We're meant to be on the same side here. This is all supposed to be rigged. What do
This-
people in the chat? Guilty guy was a deserter, so the law was on his side. No, but that's what I'm saying. The Westerosi law isn't relevant. We're putting them in modern day. You cut a man's head off.
I could try to make a poll, but that would also let me see.
Do a poll. Yeah, do a poll.
How would I rate my Canva presenting experience? Ooh, I don't know. Let's see. How do I poll?
Should we add the charge of murder, first degree murder, for the beheading of Jared, the Night's Watchman? Or Garrett? Jared or Garrett?
Okay, poll should be up.
Yeah, voting.
Good point, Carl, that bribes are encouraged here. Pretty even split so far. You know, I'm pro beheading generally, I think.
Oh, it looks like no is winning.
I will say, I think we can make a case for this being like the one specific instance where we can let it slide because it's such like a core like lesson of the series, at least from Ned's perspective.
Nah. That's my response.
Good response. I thought it was great.
Your Honor, nah. Okay, someone said in the modern context it would be the summary execution of a prisoner. The method of execution is irrelevant.
Hmm.
Just because it's thematically important for the books, again, that's irrelevant, Quinn.
I think
That's not
the
what we're doing
themes
here.
are so relevant all the time. We always
The
have to
the-
think of the themes.
Your Honor, it was thematic.
Your Honor, it was
You
thematically
can't defend him
resonant.
with themes.
And then his story ends with him being beheaded. Come on, we gotta. If we don't give a pass for that, who are we? Your Honor,
I'm
boys will
telling
be
you right
boys.
now. I can't support this. I can't support this. This is
Well, it looks like the no's have it.
we're taking him from Westeros, putting him in modern day, applying common law. He's beheading a man.
Who hasn't?
We have to treat him like a homeless guy on the street, and we've just been given a list of everything he's done.
If a homeless guy on the street beheaded somebody in front of me, I don't know if I'd be able to charge them.
So Callum is saying, if we're talking by modern standards, this is definitely abuse of a prisoner's rights and would likely be counted as murder.
Nuh-uh.
Someone's saying Ned is acting as legal authority and punishing him for it would be a violation of the no ex post facto laws in Britain and America. He's not a legal authority because he's a madman who's wandered into the modern day. Okay, you know what?
I'll
I think
end
I've
the
lost
poll.
this. I've handily lost this. And
Ha ha ha.
if kangaroo courts are known for anything, it's respecting the democratic process.
Correct.
So it has been removed. You better go full screen again, Quinn. You're hampering the
you're right.
experience.
Ah, oh no.
The stream's only 480p for me.
What? Really?
Yeah, that could just be me, but
That's bizarre. I'll look at that at some point. I do not have multiple monitors, so unfortunately, I'm a little stuck as I am
it's
currently.
fine. It's 9 a.m. everyone. For
This
those
is
who aren't
true.
watching this live, it's 9 a.m. for Quinn. Forgive him.
I don't need your forgiveness, nor do I want
This is
it.
more competent than the average Fantasy Haven live stream. Okay, shall we move on? So, fine. First degree murder, we're abandoning it. I
Who
disagree, but the
hasn't?
people have spoken. However, I think he is guilty of this, of a wildlife crime.
My favorite
If
crime.
we're looking at England, 1976 Dangerous Wild Animals Act,
Oh,
Section
are you
5
allowed to own
prohibits the
wolves?
eating of any dangerous wild animals except under the authority of a license granted in accordance with the provisions of this act by a local authority. That's 5 counts, 5 direwolves.
Was it
He
six,
doesn't
right?
have a
It's six
license
direwolves.
for those wolves. Six?
Yeah, one
Yeah,
for each
six.
kid.
Six counts of that. Now, Your Honour, I do have to say something in his defence. There is the Protection of Animals Act 1911 with various amendments, which states
Mmm.
that under that legislation, right, it's a criminal offence to cause any quote unquote unnecessary suffering to any animal in your care, and this could include a failure to provide food, water, shelter, or veterinary care. So,
But is he a
by taking the
licensed vet?
direwolves from their mother and saving them and feeding them, etc., he did the right thing. Right? He was protecting them. The issue wasn't the initially saving them, was then adopting them as pets for his children, which is a wildlife crime because he did not have a license to own 6 wild animals. Now, if you want to know the sentences for this, wildlife crime, usually an unlimited fine and up to 6 months. So, seeing as they're literal direwolves, I think we should go maximum
Sure.
6 counts, 6 times 6. That's
That's
36 months.
3 years. Yes?
Yes.
Oh, that is an
Does
excellent
anyone
point
disagree with
brought
that?
up in the chat. He does
Mhm.
later kill one of these animals, which is probably a crime of some sort.
Exactly. I have that right under here. Animal cruelty to Lady, Sansa's direwolf.
Mm-hmm.
The Animal Welfare Act states that animal cruelty can land you anywhere between 6 months and 5 years. So I think actively killing an animal, like he does, he slices the throat, that's got to be maximum. So
Sure. Does he slice? I thought he just like.
6 years.
I thought he just stabbed in the show at least.
No, in the show he like puts it up to the wolf's throat and then it fades up and then he cuts it. I think he does it in a way to be as quick as possible.
Oh, I
He
always
does it.
assumed
He
like
does it humanely.
stabbing would be quicker than like cutting the throat. I
I
don't
guess
know.
like stabbing in the heart, right? I'm not sure. It looks like he cuts the throat. It depends where you cut.
It's been a
If you
minute since
cut
I've
the
seen season one.
windpipe, they can suffocate. Depends whether you want someone to suffocate or whether you want them to choke on blood. Because
Mm-hmm.
the former is doesn't take as long, and I know from experience.
Of course. So
So
upon getting to King's Landing,
this is where it gets interesting.
yeah.
Oh, go on. Sorry, I thought were you
Oh no, I thought you
opening
said
up
this is
a.
where it gets interesting, and then didn't say anything.
I was setting you up. I was like, I've been
Oh,
talking
sure. I
way
thought
too much
I
as
thought you
usual.
had something. No. I
I
mean
do have that.
the
You can lead the way though.
the two things that come to mind for me are the treason against the one true king, Joffrey Baratheon, who's up here,
Hmm.
um, and
Who,
then
who is also on the dock preparing to
he's
be
on the
given
docket. We'll get
trial.
to him. Um, and then conspiracy probably as well.
So here's the thing: treason. It wasn't really treason because the king gave him an order, which is you will be hand and you'll be the Lord Regent to my heir. He wrote that down. The king signed it. Then he tried to present that, and then he was arrested. Nothing he did was treasonous. He was following the king's word.
An argument could be
He was
made
painted as a
though.
traitor because they tried to portray it as a coup.
He
He did
is
it, and of course he
disobeying the
clearly
word
he
of
didn't.
the new king.
Hmm. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? But the
Hmm.
new king being underage and Ned being his legal regent according to the previous king.
What piece of paper? I didn't see any piece of paper.
I mean, it used to be a piece of paper, now it's a bunch of scraps on the floor by Cersei's feet, but
Hmm.
that's irrelevant. So,
So,
I'm not sure why I spelled cruelty that way.
oh, I would
Everyone
not
ignore
have
that.
noticed that.
Um, I will say that doesn't count as treason. Within the context of the books, of course, is very interesting, right? But if we're going by the previous head of state gave him a rule, like literally signed something saying you are to be a guardian, essentially. You're the guardian of the next king, and then he goes to act as guardian and he is halted. He's not committing treason, exactly. He is trying to do what he was told to do by the previous head of state.
Gotcha.
See, now I'm acting like what the head of state in Westeros has to say matters, which isn't what I was implying earlier. But as a commenter on our previous trial livestream said, um, there is no coherence here. You guys seem to flip between one point, then you contradict yourself the next, and that is true.
That's
That's
what
what the
all
kangaroo
courts are all
court is all
about.
about. So, what are you going to do about it?
There are 2 points from the chat that I'd like to bring up. One is from Redist, who
Your Honor?
says to drop one of the wildlife crimes because Nymeria was rehabilitated and released, which I think is a decent argument. But also an argument can be made that she was not
Rehabilitated.
released in her like original environment and seems to be an invasive species.
I'm not agreeing with that. Also, it
And
wasn't
then
Ned who did it. It was Arya.
the other one is isn't randomly fighting with another dude in the street also illegal as to his fight with Jamie?
Yes, but he didn't start it.
That's fair, but
J-
I think you could still
Jamie
theoretically be
started it, and I
charged.
don't think Ned actually harmed anyone in that fight.
Yeah. So are we done with Ned? Is that it?
We're not done with Ned because there is one more thing that I had, and again, if anyone else in the chat comes up with something, keep an eye. But while he wasn't committing treason technically, he is an accomplice to bribery regarding the City Watch. Because he was
Oh.
basically like, I need the City Watch on my side, and Littlefinger was like, they will follow the man who pays them, right? Is that a line in the books or not just a show? I remember it from the show.
I think
The
Game of Thrones is the
implication,
book I've reread the least.
the implication seems to be that Littlefinger's like, I will bribe the City Watch to be on your side. So that does make Ned an accomplice to bribery, which up to 10 years in UK law.
That seems fair.
Now, are there any other crimes this scumbag Ned Stark?
Not
Sorry,
that
that
I
was a
can
bit of
think
a
of.
character assassination. Rebellion against his rightful king Aerys II. We've got a Mad King stan in the chat.
We're all Mad King stands here.
Conspiracy to murder Danny. No, he was opposed to that.
That is true.
He
If we got
quit because of
Robert
that.
or anybody else in the small council, I'd put it on there. That would be a fun
Yeah.
one. Small council members. Maybe that's what we do next.
Baratheons. Oh, the small council, yeah.
Yeah.
Baratheons would be
could
fun
also
as
be
well.
fun. I mean, Renly hasn't done
Robert
much
and
other
Stannis
than
would be locked away for a long time, I think. Yeah, I think Renly's fine.
other than
Renly hasn't really
treason.
done anything wrong. Stannis, I'd say cruel and unusual punishment for quite a lot of his stuff.
Fratricide.
And Robert's just another thing altogether.
Yeah.
Theon. Why is Flippy saying Theon on the chat?
Kidnapping Theon.
Theon's not a Stark. He's a dirty Greyjoy. Oh yes, as a kidnapping. I think that counts.
I'd agree with that.
False imprisonment.
Well,
Yes. Okay. Shall we do kidnapping then?
It seemed like real imprisonment to me.
What's false imprisonment? That's just falsely imprisoning someone,
It's
right?
like using false pretenses to imprison someone.
I don't think. Yeah, no. In this context, it's not false pretenses.
No,
it's
but I'd
just
say it is kidnapping.
we're ignoring Westerosi law, so kidnapping. It's kidnapping like on threat of death, basically. So kidnapping a child as well.
Somebody said false
Let's see
imprisonment
what
of
the
Tyrion, which is incorrect. That was
that would
Cat.
be Catelyn, right? Found guilty of kidnapping / false imprisonment can face anywhere from 12 months to 12 years. So honestly, it's up to us Your Honor. We are joint
He
prosecutors,
he
joint
treated
defendants,
Theon so
and joint
well.
judges.
He was a good person in doing this. I'd
He did.
say
He
we should
didn't.
not give him the
Yeah, he didn't.
minimum, but we should not give him the maximum.
No, he didn't torture him. He did treat him well. He didn't treat him amazingly, right? He
No,
wasn't like super.
4 years.
Should we go halfway then? 4
4 years.
years. We're gonna go 4 years below half.
Below half.
4 years. You're the lawyer. Okay, and I can't think of any other crimes now.
I think we're done with Ned.
Abuse. He left his children in the care of wild animals. Um,
Who hasn't?
that is that is endangering. That is child endangerment. You could
I don't,
argue.
they raised these wolves from when they were cubs. I don't know. I don't think that.
I mean, if you raised wolves in real life from when they were cubs, that doesn't mean that when the wolves are like 6 years old that they won't suddenly snap and like kill you.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I feel like we've covered the wolf
I will
stuff
add
with
child
wildlife
endangerment.
crime and animal cruelty.
I'm gonna include it. I'm not gonna let this scumbag get away with it. He got away with treason, and I'm not gonna stand for it.
I think you're just
Crimes
angry
are
about the
crimes,
beheading.
Quinn. I think you're from the Wild West.
Yeah, that's true.
You're from America, where things are crazy. Over here, we have law and
Yeehaw.
order. People give if people give their kids wolves, they will be they will be punished for it.
Damn.
What am I looking for?
There go those plans.
I had it. Oh, there we go. Child endangerment, 10 to 14 years.
I'd say
So
10. None of his kids were hurt by these wolves.
okay, we can go 10, but remember that how many counts of child endangerment is it?
1.
It's 6.
It's 1.
How is it 1?
I think that.
He gave 6 underage children
But they're all.
a
I don't
wolf
know.
each.
Well, I don't know if we should count Lady in there because she like died immediately.
Doesn't matter. She was still at risk.
60 years.
6 times
for
10,
child-
60 of child
I
endangerment.
just feel bad that we didn't do this for like Tywin and Cersei, who I'm sure would be like multiple centuries in jail at this point.
I mean, yeah. See, we can do them.
We're not reopening
maybe in
those
between.
books.
Maybe in between trial live streams,
Maybe.
I can just put underneath what their sentence was, because
Mhm.
theirs will be like hundreds of years.
But I think we're done with Ned then.
Yes. Now, if we were being pedantic, we would have the chat vote on every single individual charge, which I would do if it was my live stream. But Quinn strikes me as someone who cannot be fucked to do that. So shall we just go guilty or not guilty in the
You
chat?
are correct.
Let the chat decide.
Let's see.
Guilty or not guilty? So 6 counts, kidnapping 1 count, identity fraud 1 count, wildlife crime. Oh wait, wildlife crime 6 counts.
Surprising amount of not guilty. I expected it to be 100% guilty at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not really you. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Everyone would say because everyone loves Ned. It looks like people are taking the law seriously. 1 count animal. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we will have to swing the sword, is worth noting here.
What? Because we're passing the
We're
sentence.
passing the sentence, yeah.
Yeah, but we're not honourable.
I am. I have to be a lawyer.
We're charging fictional characters by a ridiculous standard.
I do have a
Modern
suggestion
day
for who we do
standards
next.
applied to
though.
a brutal. Go ahead.
Well, I'll get to that once we finish Ned.
Sure.
I think
Let's work this out. I'm terrible at maths. If he is guilty, that's what. Let's count it up.
74,
14, 74.
90, it's 108.
Oh my god.
It's only 108 years in prison.
Will Ned go to prison for 108 years?
This is an excellent
think this
point
man deserves
by
parole.
Nick Grimes that no jurisdiction. George R. R. Martin is American, so UK law doesn't apply.
Good thing we're not putting George R. R. Martin on trial.
Not yet.
Although that being said,
We'll get there.
maybe that's the final one.
I
The
agree.
final trial is and then Benioff and Weiss.
I would count not finishing wins as a war crime at this point.
Guilty until proven innocent is much more time efficient. Just a suggestion. I agree. In the court of Quinn and Haven, that's the official rule. Guilty until proven innocent. The
I have
court
ended
of
the
Quinn and
poll,
Haven
and he
sounds
is
like
guilty.
a shitty YA fantasy novel. He's guilty. Oh my god, really? Wow. Okay.
By a very slim
So
majority.
what did we agree to in terms of how many years was it? 120, did you say?
108.
108. 108 years in prison with no chance of parole. Oh, maybe you can have some parole. There we go.
And
Boom.
next, the true
Get
criminal
yourself back into full
mastermind
screen, Quinn.
of House Stark.
Ah. God damn it. Big Rick.
Yep. What has Rickon done?
Right, so first off, Your Honor, I must confess, I have no list of crimes for him whatsoever.
Wow.
I couldn't find anything. So what does Your Honor have to say about Rickon?
He didn't zigzag and thus ruined season 6. Only flaw in season 6.
That is true, but that's show Rickon.
I
If this were
mean,
show Rickon,
presumably,
he should be sent to the gas chamber for that.
presumably,
But this is Book Rickon.
Book Rickon has not zigzagged either. We have no evidence that he has.
That is true. He certainly hasn't zigzagged. But he hasn't needed to zigzag. He may have zigzagged away from the cannibals and Scargos, we just don't know. I'm not sure if those crimes link up, mate.
I was just copying it over in a baseline.
I have nothing for Rickon. What does the chat have to say?
I have something
Also,
as well.
I can do the text, I can do the pictures. Go into full screen.
I'm back on
The
full screen. Also, I
experience is
keep muting
ruined.
myself because there's a garbage truck right outside my house that
Amateurish.
I'm sure you can hear right now.
Oh, we're supposed to be a professional court here. We'll be shut down
very
within the week.
professional. There are garbage people in court. Trust me, I'm a sixth of a lawyer
People
currently.
saying. Someone says possible cannibalism.
I would agree with that. I'd
Potentially,
also
but we
say
don't-
theft.
Theft.
He stole a sword
Whose sword did he steal? Remind me.
from the crypts.
He did.
He did.
Yes.
So stealing a weapon, stealing a deadly weapon.
So theft. Maximum penalty in the Crown Court of 7 years imprisonment and/or unlimited fine.
Okay.
Okay. So why the text is so tiny? Okay, so one, not zigzag, which I don't think he's either guilty or innocent.
I think
of.
he's
That's
guilty.
just a fact. It's just a fact that he has
The
not
only
zigzagged.
bad part
And
of the
next
Battle
up,
of the Bastards.
theft of a sword. So up to 7 years. However, there is a minor thing we need to take into account. That is that he's a 4-year-old.
No,
He is
irrelevant.
under the age of criminal responsibility. So theft.
He stole
I'm
nuts from the
thinking-
Winterfell kitchens, according to Kippe in the chat.
He stole it. All right, theft. So 2 counts of theft, a sword and a nut. Let me double check. All right. Well, the thing is, all of this is moot because if he's under the age of criminal responsibility, he can't be charged with anything.
I think he should be. I know, at least in America,
I
there are
think-
certain points where you can be like, try it as an adult if you've done enough crime, and I think this is more than enough crime.
Under the age of 10, though? Under the age of 10?
No, not under the age of 10.
I think Rickon is innocent. I think this is a farce.
I
Unlike everything else. which
I
has
think
been-
the people should decide.
Okay. Put a poll out. Is Rickon guilty of 2 counts of theft and not zigzagging?
Okay, let's see.
And then we'll have to
Oh, that's
determine.
Q and O.
I mean,
Q-
theft.
the
What are
hell
we
is
doing? What are we
Q&A?
doing with stealing a nut and a sword? Like, what are we? Stealing a nut is barely a crime.
Okay, I've made the
Stealing
two
a sword,
options.
yeah, that's an issue.
Guilty and child.
Okay, let's see what people vote. Guilty or child?
Here's the thing, we're going to run into that for all of these characters that we're about to list.
See, this is just, it feels like some sort of form of hypnosis, though. The
What?
options are just say guilty child, or priming people to think a certain way.
That's fair. It's
This is what they've
50-50
taught
right
you at
now,
law
which I've
school.
never seen in a poll before. Someone says invading someone's mind is illegal, which A, it's not, and B, we'll get to that with his brother.
Yeah, there is no precedent set for that kind of thing. What do people think?
Looks like child is winning.
I'm gonna vote. Yeah, child is winning. Rightfully
Boo.
so. He is a child. Now, everyone else on this list are above the age of 10, the age of criminal
Is
responsibility in the
Bran
UK.
older than
So,
10? Or he is 10.
by the latest book, but to be fair, we need to judge what he did before the latest book as
This is
well.
true.
So, I think he's 9 in the. No, wait, no, he's 7, isn't he?
I think so. How
He's
old is
7 in the
book
first
Bran?
book. Yeah, no, he is under the age. Even so, we still need to see his crimes, but Bran is not responsible for the crimes of D&D.
Okay. Child has won the poll.
Okay, so we can officially declare him
The first innocent.
not guilty.
Wow. I
Our
didn't know our
first
court
not
was capable
guilty.
of that.
The only time it's capable is when it's a literal 4-year-old. You can go here for now. Um,
You pick who's next.
so- this is so dumb. I have so much stuff I need to be doing, and I'm doing this.
That's
Who's
fine.
next?
Hey, it's not like you have constitutional law in less than 2 hours.
No, I need to draw some June characters, boy. I'm making a June video next. Who's excited?
Dune's gonna be fun.
I do this one, and neither does he, but we can do it.
Oh, Jon
Don't
Snow.
want, I never have. I said before, Jon Snow sounds like, in the later seasons, he sounds like he's like phoning you, but the service is terrible. When he
Yeah.
talks, he's like, I don't want it. I never have. Like, John,
Super
you there?
chat from Gavin Copley, who brings up an excellent point, which is that his dog attacks multiple people and would more. I think that's true of all of these characters,
That is
and
true.
we need to take it into account.
Okay,
Yeah, Jon Snow, mass kidnapping, right?
mass kidnapping. Are you talking about the wildlings?
Yes.
Oh, yes. He orders a hostage from.
Like
Okay,
hundreds of counts of
let's go back
kidnapping.
in time a little bit. Let's go back in time a little bit. We can't start with dance. We have to start with a Game of Thrones. So first off, could you argue? Well, my first note here is that he's an accomplice to murder because he witnessed the execution of Garrett, but we're saying that doesn't count.
He was a child.
So I'll delete. No, it doesn't count because it doesn't count as murder. We've
Yeah.
set the precedent with Ned Stark. Also, yes, he is a minor. He is above the age of criminal responsibility, so he can be charged. It's just the
True.
sentences
It's
will be
also,
different.
I would also argue in that case, duress, given that it was his semi-father doing that.
Fair enough. He's a Quinn is a kind judge, jury,
Unless it's
executioner in the case of Tywin.
Rickon should die.
So first off, is he guilty of a wildlife crime like his father for raising ghost without a license? Because you know this man does not have a license.
if any of
He
them
doesn't want one.
if any of them should not be guilty of it, it's probably him. Him
Why?
and Ghost have like a special bond, but not like weird like Brands.
Your Honor, my pet pit bull that mauled a 3-year-old to death, I had a special bond with him.
Exactly. I would accept that defense.
That I would not. I would not. The court is officially split. We are both prosecuting and defending the same people. This was always going to be a bad idea, but I disagree. I think this man is guilty of wildlife crime. He did not have a license. He hasn't renewed his TV license and he hasn't renewed his wolf license. So he must go to prison.
I don't want it.
Americans always shook when they find out there's a TV license in the UK.
Oh, I didn't know there was one. That's bizarre.
It's a long story. Like, to have access to the BBC, you need to pay an annual fee. And if you don't have that fee, you're not allowed the BBC, and you have people come around your house asking you if you have the license. It's really weird. Legally, they're not allowed in your house, but like it's just a bizarre situation. Does he have a stabbing license? That he might have.
I would say he does.
So, wildlife crime. So the minimum for that was what was it?
6 months.
Oh, it was up. It was up to 6 months. Now, because he's a minor, it's difficult to say that when it's a picture of like Kit Harington with a beard. But he is a minor. He's 14 years old.
That looks like most.
I think we can
14-year-olds
lessen
I've
that
seen.
sentence. To be fair, yeah. I don't know what they're being fed nowadays. Mr. Beast burgers. Okay, 1 month. I'm gonna go 1 month.
Okay.
And again, not necessarily a prison. Could just be a junior prison, a youth center, something like that. What else is John responsible for? Let's have a look. So child endangerment, because he gives a sword to Arya Stark. He gives a sharp weapon to his 11-year-old sister.
I mean, who hasn't?
I feel like your defenses are getting weaker and weaker
I've given my
every
sister
time.
swords.
Who hasn't?
Yeah.
Who hasn't, Your Honor? Come on, we've all done this. Child endangerment. So here, what's your Quinn? What's this?
Child endangerment.
10 to 14 years.
Jesus. But okay, him being a
So
child at that point as well, I think applies more in this case. I think he
yes.
might be like
So
civilly
we don't. We
liable
can
for that, but I don't
ignore.
think he'd be found guilty in a criminal court for child endangerment while he himself is a child.
Would you say that about all of these charges, or specifically that one?
Specifically that one, because the
Okay.
argument could be
So
like
shall we
it's
remove?
a kid interacting with a kid, you know.
Fair enough. Whereas him raising a wolf,
Yeah, that's
he could get a license, and he hasn't.
yeah.
In that case, child endangerment, we will decide he is not guilty off the bat. Um. So threat to
Though,
kill.
may I make an argument?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
As the rightful king, he should not be charged with any crimes.
I'm going to ignore that one and move on to the next charge, which is
You're right.
threat to
He's
kill.
Ashara's kid.
Again, the fact that you say he's the one true king when we know Stannis exists is absurd.
Stannis is not the
Threat
one
to
who
kill.
Jon. I'm a Targaryen loyalist.
You've changed your tune.
I'm kidding. I will die for Stannis, and you know that.
So, threat to kill, because he threatens the life of Rast in the Night's Watch, where he's like, I will have Ghost eat your face off if you
He also
keep
threatened to
bullying
kill
Sam.
a baby.
Jesus, what? When?
Gilly?
Oh, 2 counts.
I just reread that chapter in Dance. It's fun stuff.
Okay, so threat to kill, minimum community order, maximum 7 years.
Maximum. So,
So,
I feel like threatening a
threatening to kill
baby is probably the max.
yeah, threatening someone to stop bullying a friend, that might be like. And the fact he's a kid, let's say 1 year for that one.
I would also. There's a
But
good
then,
point.
so let's.
Good point from Ian in the chat. Does the baby swap count as kidnapping?
Maybe I've got something for that one later on.
Okay,
We'll get to the baby
there.
swap.
Sorry,
Don't
I'm
worry.
jumping the queue.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Next up, attempted second-degree murder, Alistair Thorne.
Why is it second
Where
degree?
he second degree because it's not premeditated.
Oh,
Alistair
sure.
Thorne walks up to him. You're a traitor's bastard, lol, and John just takes his knife out and angrily tries to stab him. So I don't think it's not like he was like I'm gonna plot to kill him and whatever.
Yeah.
It was a crime of passion,
And he would be.
but he didn't get to do it because his friends helped him.
He would likely be found guilty of that insofar as that, like, the common defense to a crime of passion like that, or an attempted crime of passion, was, like, immediate threat of bodily injury or death, which was not present in that case.
No. So attempted murder. Um, it's life imprisonment, which basically means in the UK 15 to 20 years. So 15 to 20 years, we can say 15 because he's young.
Sure.
Let's go minimum. And also he wasn't, we could go lower but he was basically like a revenge stab, right? It was like you said something mean to me.
Yeah,
Now, you mentioned kidnapping earlier.
I did. Hundreds of
I
kidnappings.
don't I don't have the I don't have the hostages in mind yet. I have Egret when he's beyond the wall.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
right?
interesting. I
Yeah,
think
because he
yes,
basically.
but I think we just do +1 to the kidnappings that will come later.
Oh, that's true. I will put fine. I will put kidnapping, and then I'll put one count, and then we will add to it as we go along chronologically.
Sure.
So next up,
Yeah.
this is an interesting one legally. I'm interested to hear your take on it.
Mhm.
The killing of Corin Halfhand. Is that murder or is that assisted suicide?
Assisted suicide.
Interesting.
He told
Because
him to
Corin
kill
was
him.
like, kill me.
Yeah.
Kill me so the wildlings will trust you. So I looked into this. So yeah, that would count as euthanasia.
Euthanasia? Yeah.
Euthanasia, sorry, under UK law, which is under UK law, euthanasia is regarded as either manslaughter or murder. It's not legal. So this would be counted as murder because that's clearly not manslaughter.
Sure.
But specifically, euthanasia murder legally would be 14 years. That seemed to be the average I found.
I'm really liking Ian's arguments in the chat. He's saying that Beyond the Wall should count as international waters, which I agree with. So does that make him a pirate?
I mean, maybe. Should we add piracy to the list?
I would agree, yeah. No, he doesn't steal anything.
No, the issue, it doesn't matter where in Westeros or even Essos he is, of course, because he's here right now. He's in the court of Quinn and Haven.
This is true.
And we follow English common law specifically for some reason.
Boo.
Well, no, it depends on the day. We follow a random country's laws.
We're doing
depending
America
on the day.
next time.
Did I say 14 years, right?
I think so.
We can do
yeah.
America now. We can mix it up. That doesn't need to be. Okay, 14 years. I'm gonna put it at that because he did shank him. So.
Oh, actually, you know
next
what?
up,
You know what? No, I don't
Go
think
on.
this counts. Self-defense.
Okay, go on. He was being attacked by Corrin.
Corin
You're
was
right.
attacking him.
Now, here's the thing. In the UK, self-defense laws are very strict. I know in America, if someone steps on your
But we're
property,
going
you
America
can, like,
rules for
incinerate
this
them.
one. Stand your ground.
You can reduce a man to his left pinky if he steps a foot in your garden. In the UK, you can get in trouble for what's called excessive self-defense, even if someone's on your property. So, self-defense, you need a reasonable motive, but if there's an unreasonable use of force, you can get in trouble. Obviously it's a case-by-case basis, but like if someone breaks into your house and you knock them out, and then while unconscious you then like kill them, that would count as murder, even if it was like it's case-by-case basis. But
I think that in this case, given that it was like he was being attacked with deadly force, I think that it should not count. He was coming right at him.
I mean, that's the thing. Even if you're being attacked with deadly force, there was a case in the UK where an elderly man was being burgled and a burglar stabbed him, and the elderly man somehow managed to take the knife out and like stab the guy who was attacking him, and he actually killed him. And then that old man was sent to a hospital and he recovered, and then he was actually put on trial for murder. And he ended up being found guilty, and the charges were all
What the
dropped, and it
hell?
was a big outrage because they're like, why are you doing this to him? But yeah,
I'm glad we fought a war to not be subject to British laws.
it's with some of the specifically with regards to like self-defense in your own home, it's ridiculous.
I think we
But
should
yeah,
take the American
unfortunately,
stance on
that
this
counts
one.
as that would I would say that counts as excessive self-defense,
I disagree.
stabbing him. You know what? Actually, I disagree. I think if you have a sword and he has a sword and he's trying to kill you to provoke you into killing him, I don't
Right.
think that's excessive. Actually, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm removing this from the list.
Aha. John will have enough
I've been
crimes.
convinced.
We don't need to add. We don't need to pile on.
We, so Okay, how do we deal with the kidnapping situation?
Does
Let's address
anybody in
the
the
elephant in
chat
the room.
recall how many wildlings John kidnapped? I'm rereading Dance.
So,
He's voiced his
so
intent to do this, but it
first
hasn't
off,
happened
go
yet.
on. So first off, Egret from early on. When he did the baby swap, you could count that as 2 counts of kidnapping. Um, in terms of how many hostages he takes, yeah, the chat will know. Someone in the chat will tell us. Let us know.
If not, we might not have an exact figure from the books. Is my thought. I would readily
The
guess
idea is that
like
it's like every.
200. I'd guess.
Oof. I might just blatantly type this up. How many wildling hostages did Jon Snow take?
Make sure you put like A Song of Ice and Fire so you get the books, not the show.
There's something on Westeros.org. A crossing of 3,000 wildlings. Yeah, how many hostages? Oh, okay, listen to this, Quinn.
Okay.
I insisted upon hostages. 100 boys between the ages of 8 and 16. A son from each of their chiefs and captains, the rest chosen by lot. The boys will serve as pages and squires.
So 100.
So, 100. 100
103
boys.
kidnappings.
So,
Cersei's
103 counts of
variable
kidnapping.
number of murders have been topped.
It's so. It's something about that Kit Harington picture you have too is really funny to me. So it's
He
like that
looks
goofy
so
face and then
like
like
just passively upset
103
about
counts
it.
of kidnapping.
I did pick the most like my queen I don't want it picture I could find.
Don't. I never have. I'm tired of fighting. The dead are coming. All right, that's enough.
So what's the
Is there
charge for
anything?
kidnapping? We need to do some quick mental maths
Oh,
here.
wait. So, kidnapping, because that can mean loads of different things.
Sure.
What I found said 12 months to life.
Okay. There's
So-
also a good case from the chat. Victoria says child soldiers, which is a good point.
Oh God. Okay. Well, that comes under war crimes. Yeah, because he isn't he training the
He's
wildling
enlisting
kids?
them, yeah.
Dear Lord. Okay. Well. Okay. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. So
Okay.
kidnapping. Minimum
Minimum of 103 years.
12 months. So 1 year. Yeah, minimum 103
It's
years.
103
How many
years to
years for each
103
kidnapping?
lifetimes.
Lifetime meaning like 15 to 20 years. So
Is that how long people live over there?
it's just a weird, like a life sentence. Basically, it's called a life sentence, but it means 15
I'm
to 20.
kidding.
Life sentence without parole is you are in prison forever.
That's
But
fair.
life sentence means if you've served between 15 and 20 and you've been good, you can, in theory, apply for parole.
And where does
So-
where does not
Let's go.
fulfilling my
Let's go.
where does not
20,
following
because
my
a lot of
fan
them are
fiction and
children.
getting with Satin fall in the crime scale?
I mean, that would be a crime we assign to George R. R. Martin, surely,
That is true.
because we wouldn't have to worry about that if Winds had come out.
Good point.
Lack of satin sex scenes in George's crime list.
Death.
So let's say 20 years account because they are all children apart from Egret.
Sure.
Um,
and
so
Eager can
20
balance
times
out the babies.
103. Yes.
So 20 times 103. Let me pull up my handy dandy calculator. 2,060 years.
1,060.
So if John theoretically could have been put in jail before Jesus was born and still be in jail. 2,060, not 1,000.
This is so stupid. I'm going to remove child endangerment because we've decided it's not guilty. Okay. We're not done though. I still have more, Quinn, believe it or not.
No, you
So-
got the year wrong. Hold on.
What did I do? Oh, yes, my bad. So listen to this. 2 counts of identity fraud, right? Because Gilly's baby, Mance Rayder's baby, he swaps them and pretends they're 2 different people. He pretends they're the other.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 counts of identity fraud. What was identity fraud under Ned Stark? That was
Um,
10 years for serious or systematic offenses. So that's 20 years.
Jon Snow could have been a
There we
cellmate
go.
with Jesus. Good point, Thomas.
Have I got anything else?
Jon Snow died for our
Oh,
sins.
I
Oh,
have one more. Not we'll get to child soldiers last, but okay, no, go on, go on.
I was gonna say, what about like abandonment of his post? Is there anything for that? Like
I'll
desertion?
say no because that's a
Desertion. That's
Westerosi
a
law.
thing.
But he's not deserting the
He's in the
army. He's
military and he's
deserting an
deserting.
institution. It's more equivalent to him joining the monastery and deserting, like joining the clergy and deserting. I'd say.
I don't know. I think it's more of a military, but I'm okay with not putting that on the list. He's got enough.
I will let that. I will let that slide. But something we forgot is remember, when Rattleshirt disguised as Mance Rayder is being burnt on a pyre, he has him shot as a mercy kill.
Yeah.
So mercy, I looked up mercy killing. Again, it's often associated with assisted suicide, but that doesn't make sense because it's not suicide. It would still be seen as a murder. It's just the benefit of saving someone's life. So minimum for life would be 15. So should we go 15 for murder?
Sure.
First degree murder.
Sure.
Although it is a mercy kill. Then
Janos
finally, child
Slynt.
soldiers. Child soldiers, I assume, comes under what war crimes? What, right? Child soldiers law. We're gonna have to go international with this one, my friend.
Okay. Jesus Christ, this is a
It's
lot of years. And 1 month for
it's a
wildlife crime.
war crime. Yeah, and 1 month. Yeah, it is a war crime. Um, Generally tried by distinct tribunals. So war crimes judges can issue sentences in the UK up to 30 years imprisonment. So that would be like okay.
So
So let's
30
go
years times 300 years? No, sorry, 3,000 years.
3,000 years or hanging. So Jesus Christ. This
I'm gonna
okay,
add
so
all this up real
sentence.
quick.
Yes.
Let's see.
Don't forget the 1 month.
I won't forget the 1 month. Don't you worry. 8 plus 15 plus 2,060 plus 20 plus 15 plus 3,000. That is 5,118 years and 1 month. Did you
Whoops.
delete the courtroom?
Sorry, it's back. It's back. Say that again.
5,118 years and 1 month.
Slash hanging, depending on what the Hague has to say. We've completely given up on the idea that he's a kid.
No, I think it's
We're
just the
like,
jail time. Let's go jail time. That's more fun.
yeah, and then again, I'll work out Tywin, Cersei, and Tyrion between streams, and I can let us know next time. So, is he guilty or not? Though it's up to the jury to decide. That being the chat.
I said guilty and unguilty this time.
Very nice. Those are official terms, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Jon Snow, the real
That
Jon
is true.
Snow,
John is already dead, so he'll be fine.
coming soon.
We are putting a corpse on trial. Same with
That is
Rickon,
true.
probably.
Maybe we're putting Ghost on trial, and it's just his soul in Ghost.
Oh, true. I mean, we can't put dogs on trial. Oh, hey,
No,
David
then
Lightbringer.
we put
Good to
ourselves
see
up
ya.
for animal cruelty.
He will be sacrificed. That is fair.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
Are you telling me Big D is in the chat?
Yeah.
I can't see it. Oh, because my Jon Snow, I'm going to vote guilty. I'm allowed to vote.
I also voted guilty.
I'm also in a jury.
I am
We've
also on the
established
jury
I
at this
am.
point, but secretly I'm undercover.
We're prosecutors, defenders, judge, juries,
As long as we're swinging the
executioners.
sword, Ned Stark thinks it's okay.
I do want to say, Quinn, we've done a few live streams together. Is this our most stupid one?
Because we didn't convict Rickon, I'm going to say yes.
I feel like this is the dumbest thing we've done so far.
What,
I know we've
sentencing
just
Jon
given up
Snow
on
to
any pretense
5,000
of
years in
seriousness.
prison? It's pretty great. I'm gonna end the poll because I
So
think it's pretty
stupid.
pretty open and shut. 71%
What are
guilty.
people guilty? Guilty. I don't want it.
Done. Open and shut.
Right, off we go.
I. It will be difficult to top that. I don't know if Tywin and Cersei are that bad, just because of the 100
Without
kidnappings.
credit. Yeah, but look, we have 2 counts of crimes against humanity for Tywin. We've got ecocide.
What is the punishment for? If we're using British crimes, then it's gonna be like 20 years apiece. That's nothing. This is why the American way should be our way of doing things.
Right, what do we have next?
Why do you think he
have
came
brown
all this
flakes.
way?
Mm.
Where does
That's what he does. We
Abomination
wheels up to
rank
court and he's like,
in terms of crime?
okay, yeah, we need to get this out of the way. There is no precedent set for walking into an animal and eating other humans slash mating with other animals slash walking into a human mind. How do we judge such a thing? You're the law
So,
expert.
brainwashing isn't a crime. I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. He's taking over somebody's mind. Could that be considered a form of kidnapping?
I feel like taking over someone's mind, that feels like cruel and unusual punishment.
It's a lot of
Maybe.
things, I think.
I haven't prepared for this. David Lightbringer says, have you put Tywin on trial yet? We did in our previous stream, which I think was messier than this one somehow.
Yeah. I do think,
Yeah, as you see in
as
the
you
corner-
say, breaking the moon is probably similar to a crime we tried Tywin for, which was ecocide. I think that was for what he did at the...
Yes.
That was what? When he broke the
Yes.
dam, right?
Yeah. I can't remember. Yes, yeah. Reigns of Castamere. Yeah, where he
Yeah.
dammed the river.
Let's
I think we counted that as ecocide.
let's get Bran's simple stuff out of the way first. He stole a sword, like Rickon did.
Yes. He did steal a sword. Maybe his most outrageous crime.
Cannibalism.
So 1 count of theft. Cannibalism. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was kind
just
of
gonna have to
unknowing
accept
cannibalism because, like, what Cold Hands fed them was definitely people, right?
Yes, but he wasn't aware, was he? I think it's like the reader is aware, but Bran himself isn't.
An argument
From what
could
I
be
remember.
made that that was like willing blindness.
But he's also a child, which
That's
we continue
fair.
to conveniently ignore during this
No, of
kangaroo
course.
court. I'm not gonna allow cannibalism because I just think, he just thought it was a cheeky bit of bacon.
I also assume
can't
that's
blame the
legal
kid.
in the UK.
Cannibalism, oh yeah, definitely. As long as you say sorry while you're doing it.
Yeah,
Oh wait, no, that's Canada. Anyway, theft of a sword.
that's his main
Theft.
crime.
What else do we have? Up to 7 years. Let's go. Swords are kind of dangerous, but it's not like.
4 years.
Let's go 4. Oh, why is that so tiny? Yeah. Let's go 4 years. What else do we have for Bran?
Mm.
Oh, we could copy what? We could copy the whole wildlife crime, adopting a direwolf without a
I would agree.
license.
So getting a month for that, and
Uh,
then I think he murders some people while warging Summer.
Whoop. Go on.
I think he murders people
On a
while in Summer. I'm not sure about that though.
He does, I think. Yeah, he does eat people as Summer. There's kind of ambiguity as to how aware he is when he's warging Summer.
We're in his perspective for that. I think he seems pretty aware.
Yeah. So, are we going to count that as murder?
I can't recall how many people he has murdered. We talked about this last stream.
Isn't it the Black Brothers in Craster's Keep, the mutineers? Or am I misremembering?
I think a couple of them that are like out and wandering in his like first chapter in Dance, but I'm not positive on that. Brand's chapters
let me check
are like a
the wiki.
massive blind spot for me just because I'm not the hugest fan.
Don't know why I typed the word summer into Google expecting it to
It's Google now.
send me to something A Song of Ice and Fire related. Let me have a look. Summer does kill some wildlings, but not while being warged. Dance with Dragons. Let's have a look. Feel free to chat so there's no
He
dead
does.
air.
He eats Jojen, which should be considered.
He's not aware of that one. I don't think
Not
that's
yet.
willing
I think
blindness
he will
either,
be
I
aware
think.
of that and wins, right?
If it's true, I think he's not aware. Okay, I can't find anything specific about who he kills as Summer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trial. You don't have to research things
No, why
before you
would
just
you?
do it, you know.
What else has Bran done? I feel like there's more that we're forgetting. Ruining the show?
We're not judging the show characters. That'll be another stream, maybe.
Maybe.
We
We'd have to
didn't,
get new art for these guys.
We didn't charge Rickon with zigzagging.
That is, we should have.
Well, interesting.
If
I
there were
did
any
look up
justice in
cannibalism
this
just in
world,
case
we
we had
would
this.
have.
Just in case we had this discussion, there's no official UK law on cannibalism.
Okay. Good to know.
I think the assumption is if you've got to the point where you're eating human, you've probably committed a crime beforehand, but the act itself is not illegal.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. For
I
Quinn.
think we need
For
to
for
address
Bran.
the Hodor elephant.
The
in
consuming
room.
people.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Hodor. Yes. I would say he enters Hodor knowing it distresses him.
Yeah. So that's intentional affliction of emotional
think
distress,
that would count
at
as-
least, if that's a crime in the UK.
Emotional distress. I think maybe full on torture. Honestly,
I would say torture.
person who commits the offence of torture shall be liable on conviction or indictment to imprisonment for life.
Cool.
So
I would
again,
say he
life
does
meaning
that,
15 to 20.
I'd say, like, probably. How many times do you think he does?
Let's go lowest.
I'd say 10 to 15.
I can't remember, but he
Because he remarks in Dance that it's been getting easier. So, I'd say that's,
yes, but is that more that he's more powerful, not that Hodor is letting it happen?
I
is
think
fine
it's.
with it.
I was more
It's more
saying
the-
that it's speaking to it having happened more times.
More. So multiple counts. We don't know how many.
Yeah.
We can just say sustained torture. Shall we go maximum if it's happened multiple times?
Yeah.
Let's go 20. 20 years.
Trespassing at the Night Fort.
I love how half the time we're like, specifically, how many years should it be? And then other times we're like, fuck it, 50 years. Why not?
Or fucking 5,000 years.
No, but he deserved that.
That's true.
Trespassing the Night Fort. Well, he was trespassing, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was from CPO in the chat.
Now we're getting into the real crime.
Yep. I think if
Several
we
times
go
live
back
stream,
and
I
talk
forgot
about...
we were live streaming, and I'm just thinking we've just been rambling about. I checked the chat, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, people are listening.
yeah, people are here.
Carry on, sorry.
It's worth noting that I think if we started talking about trespassing, we'd have to go back to every character we've done before.
Yeah. Let's not get into the weeds. Which sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, considering how our conversation's
I'd say
gone
we're
for the
pretty
last
far in
hour.
there already. What?
Okay,
so anything
let's
else
just get it
from
over
Ryan?
with. Innocent or guilty, right?
What was that?
No, go on. What did you say?
Do we... Oh, we should do the poll. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, the poll. I I can't think of anything else. I think
That's the
the
wrong
whole
thing.
cannibalism thing in a wolf, I think it's ambiguous enough where we can just kind of leave that. We think, will he be sentenced to 24 years and 1 month?
Okay, polls up.
Well, time to vote. I'm gonna vote guilty for everyone.
That's fair.
God damn it! If you put a meme on, so everyone's gonna do the meme.
Hmm?
Can you hum me?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Guilty is winning.
That's true.
I wonder whether that's because people just don't like Showbran.
I mean, I don't.
But he's the most interesting character. He has the best story. We can
Status-
agree on that at least. He
Status
does have
quo
the best
quotes
story.
brings up a good point, which is that considering Brand's abilities, thousands of years in prison might be possible.
1,000 years of prison is like a nap for him.
Yeah, I also feel like no walls can confine him, right?
How has he not been given a charge of witchcraft? Because modern day common law. There is no witchcraft.
Not yet.
There is witchcraft. There's no witchcraft law. I've met a witch once at university.
Oh,
Or
I
someone
think I
who
had an Uber
claims to be a
driver who
witch.
claimed to be a witch at one point, also at university or
Ah,
college, as us
Yeah.
Americans call it.
Ugh.
Okay, I think I can end the poll.
University.
University.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right,
Right,
guilty
let's-
has it. We're making
Perfect.
good progress.
We are. When do you have to drop off again?
We'll see. Between 10:30, 10:45 is my thought because I have class at 11.
Okay, I'm thinking we can do Sansa next because I have the least amount for her. So
I
it
have
won't take too long.
one specific thing for Sansa.
Let's bring her up. Such a low res image.
Yeah, all of the images for Sansa were low res. I don't know why.
Why are they all low res?
I don't know. I
find
legitimately
a better
looked and I could not find anything.
I typed Sansa low res. Well, I literally typed Sansa low res into Google Images because it was on my mind. Sansa Stark art. Not art. We'll get sort of toner. The problem with typing Sansa Stark into Google Images is half it is now AI.
That's fair.
It's all the AI that you see on like those clickbait YouTube shorts.
Mm-hmm. Gotta love those.
You know, in the books that Sansa Stark.
I did. Somebody said in my comments that one of them ripped me off recently, but I haven't looked into it yet.
No, I double checked. They did something that you then did a month later. So if anything, you ripped them
Oh
off.
wow. Maybe I'm an AI.
Maybe you are. Oh, the pictures are all low res. What the
I
hell?
know. I wouldn't lie about
Why
this.
is the one of her as queen like 301 by 426? there we go.
I have
There's a good one.
specific crime for Sansa.
Don't worry, I found a good one. There we go. There you are, Sansa.
Shut up. So my main thought is
Oh?
that's oh my god, that's so much higher quality.
It's almost too high.
Accessory after the fact to regicide. Yes?
Oh, okay. Explain yourself.
When you get
Your
to accomplice liability, it's generally believed that accomplice before the fact and principal in the first and second degree are all receiving the charges for the crime as though they committed it themselves. However, in terms of other kinds of accomplice liability, specifically being an accomplice after the fact, you are still typically guilty for a crime, but you're not punished as much. So you're treated as though you had committed that regicide, but punished less because you didn't know about it beforehand.
Wake me up when you're finished.
I'm finished.
Wait, hold on. Accomplice to regicide. In what way?
Littlefinger.
Joffrey.
Also,
Littlefinger?
she had the
What do you
poison
mean?
in her hair, right?
Okay, well, poison in her hair, she had no idea, so
That's
that doesn't count. But
you can
what
still
do you
be an
mean?
accomplice even if you don't know in the moment. If you continue to hide it after
I
the
don't know
fact and help
what.
people get away with it, like she did with Littlefinger.
Oh, so after. Oh, after the fact.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. 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 She knew, and then she went along with it. Okay, so what would we say for that then?
What's the typical charge of regicide, and give her probably half of that.
Um,
This is the advantage of
Regicide UK
using British law.
sentence.
I'm sure you guys have actually had regicide before.
Exactly. Regicide is an actual. That just counts as treason. Maximum sentence for treason is life imprisonment. Probably means literally life, like forever. But the thing is, it's not like she committed regicide. It's she's aware of it and she didn't.
Well, she
She
assisted
hasn't
Tyrion in killing.
reported it to the authorities. So
She assisted the imp in murdering the most precious child ever placed on Westeros.
this is slander. We go by facts here. We don't go by
We should put Pycelle on here.
bullshit narratives. I said we do need a small council trial. Oh no, we just need Pycelle like in the jury, just booing every now and then.
Dear
I'm
me.
not the whole.
No, that was Beesbury.
I'm not sure about
Fuck.
the whole killing Joffrey
Yeah.
thing. I don't know what to do. Like accomplice to regicide, but like
Accomplice
it's not
after
like
the
she
fact
helped it.
to
She just knew
regicide.
about it. Obstruct. How about obstructing justice? In the sense of she didn't go and actively. She didn't take part in it, but after the fact, she didn't go and tell anyone about it.
That's what accomplice after the fact is.
But yeah, but I want her charged with like perversion of justice. You want her charged with regicide.
Yes.
Okay, what's what half regicide? That's life. What's half life?
Reggie.
Shall we go 10 years just to
Sure.
round it up?
10 years.
Accomplice to regicide.
Batflash says, I've been at work. What did I miss? We put Jon Snow in jail for 5,000 years.
It's a long story. It's a very long story, but it's not the best story. That's Bran. Remember?
No, that's correct. The worst story is Rickon, who should have been guilty.
Hold on. Something to mention.
Wildlife.
Actually, you know what? Having just said that, attempted regicide.
Huh?
In the first book, when she moves to push Joffrey off the bridge, right, and then the Hound stops her.
The
Don't
Hound
you hum me?
stops
Come
her?
on.
Is that
how
how
is
it
that?
goes in the book?
That is attempted murder.
Yeah, that is attempted.
Sorry?
Is that how it goes in the books?
Yeah,
I only remember
that's
the show
straight from
scene.
the book. She basically is like, if I can just push him off, and then she goes forward, and then the Hound
Yeah, that is
stops
the
her and is
definition
like,
of
wipes
attempt.
her face. That's attempted regicide. So attempted regicide, I think we're gonna have to go for maximum life penalty, 25.
Yeah,
Imagine regicide is actually like life is in literally life in the UK. It's not 15 to 25, whatever. It's like actually life, but
I
let's
think
go
there is an
25.
actual perversion of justice charge to be given with lying under oath to King Bobby B about Joffrey and Arya.
That's true, but it wasn't within a court of law.
I mean, it was
Technically.
before
That
the
wasn't a
king. I
trial,
think you could
though.
call that a court of law.
Okay, perverting.
Given the fact that Westeros has no actual like justice system to any extent, I think that that's kind of the closest we can get.
Hope you're enjoying my typing ASMR.
Yeah.
Perverting the court of justice sentence. The maximum is life. Okay, so it's basically like it depends on
Yeah.
the crime. So perverting the course of justice, that being finding out how Joffrey was wounded and lying about the person who did it. So lying about someone. Oh wait, no. She basically said she didn't know. That was her lie, wasn't it?
Yes. Death.
I'll let you decide the punishment.
Death.
What do you think? Not death.
Death.
5 years.
Same thing.
5 years. I'm giving up on. I'm prisoners. If it's Guantanamo Bay where I live, then yeah, maybe 5 years is the equivalent of death. Okay. What else do we have? Accomplice to murder regarding Lysa,
What? Oh, I forgot about that.
right?
Yeah.
Because she witnesses it, she knows it happens, and she
Hmm.
goes along with the bullshit. So accomplice to murder. Let's go.
Though,
She didn't commit it. She's an accomplice. Let's go 15.
is there a self-defense argument there for her specifically, not for Littlefinger?
There's
She
not a
was gonna push her
self-defense
through the
argument
moon
for her
door.
to not expose the fact that someone murdered her.
Hmm.
If Sansa had pushed her while being threatened to be thrown out, then there's a self-defense argument. But her, after the fact, not telling everyone about Lysa being
Yeah,
murdered,
that's
I
fair.
think.
And then I think,
I
oh,
think it's accomplice to murder because Littlefinger wasn't acting in
I've
self-defense.
I've got one more. I think I have one last thing.
Go on.
Identity fraud.
Oh, very nice. What was that again? That was like
Elaine.
I've still got it on
Oh yeah, it's
the
on
Ned
for
one.
Ned.
10 years for serious offences. 10 years for serious offences because he did it with a child. I'd say it's not as serious.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's go half. 5 years.
Yeah. David Lightbringer brings up a good point that she also
We
lies to
also
cover up the murder to the Lords of the Vale, which I think maybe we just count under the perverting of justice thing.
justice 2 counts. So let's 2 counts of that. So let's we double it. 10 years.
Sure. So that's a total
Also,
of
we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
up.
We're
We're
not done yet.
65 so far.
So Marillion, she is aware that Marillion is innocent, but she lets him. She lets Littlefinger have his way with him, which is he gets locked up and tortured, basically tortured into suicide slash tortured and then murdered. So you could argue she's an accomplice to torture and murder.
I feel like her biggest crime is being around Littlefinger so far.
Basically, everything she
That's gonna be a
most of her
fun crime
crimes are.
list.
Oh my god, Littlefinger! If we do a small counter one,
I think Small
Littlefinger's one will
Council's our
just be
next one.
the whole screen. We might just need like the trial of Littlefinger that goes on for several hours.
Yeah.
Okay, accomplice to torture and murder. That's obviously life and both counts. Um, let's go minimum 15 for both because
And
it's
then accomplice
accomplice.
liability is probably half that, so call it 7 years.
I'm going 30 for torture and murder,
I think
as
that
in both of them individually being.
being an accomplice, I think, should cut those each down by half. So I'd say 15 for both collectively.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a total of 80
Next up.
years.
Oh wait, we missed something really
Oh.
important.
Oh my gosh.
What was it? 1 month?
Yes,
Yeah,
1 month.
we missed wildlife crime.
So 80 years in 1 month.
Okay. Are you ready to put it to a poll?
Yeah, let's
Let
do
the
that.
people choose. Damn it.
I someday I will go correctly to the right spot to start a poll.
You know you can. Oh yeah, you're doing it. Are you? Let me check live. Yeah. The youngest boomers you've ever seen.
Yep. Okay, poll's up.
I do want to say it's really cool that David Lightbringer is just watching our stream.
It really is. Good to have you, man.
Yeah.
Two left. We can probably get through one of them.
Like a celebrity. E-celeb popping in. Oh, yeah, David made the point. She's also helping Peter manipulate Sweet Robin and feeding him too many drugs. Yeah, lots of milk of the poppy. Although you could argue,
What crime is that? What crime would that be?
yeah,
Providing drugs to a minor? Is Sansa a drug
well, no,
dealer?
that's not her. That's the Maester doing it, and Littlefinger's forcing the Maester to give him more. I think from Sansa's perspective, it's just he needs more, and the Maester's giving him more. I don't think Sansa can necessarily. She absolutely does understand what sweet sleep is. Actually, yeah. Would we say Sansa is fully 100% aware that Littlefinger is planning to kill Sweet Robin, or is it like an obvious thing that she's suppressing and not really addressing?
I don't think she's arrived at that point yet. I don't think she's realized it. I think we'll get that realization pretty early in Wins, but I don't think we've had it yet.
Or she's realized it, but like like with many other things from her point of view, she kind of pushes it down.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Lysa literally confesses a bunch of interesting stuff about Littlefinger before she's pushed. Sansa doesn't think, hold on, didn't Lysa just admit that like Littlefinger started the whole war? Like she doesn't think about that after that chapter because she's like suppressing everything.
I've also come to the realization that
It's how I interpret it, at
I
least.
think Danny might have kidnapped more children than John, so that'll be an interesting one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, I don't even know where you'd begin with Danny and the dragons. Like, would we have to legally treat the dragons as nuclear weapons?
Yeah, I don't know. So, poll is
Weapons
over.
of mass
She is
destruction.
guilty.
Guilty.
So far, the only cure for being
You-
guilty in our court is being 4 years old.
Sansa, you are sentenced to 80 years and 1 month.
Okay,
Ignore the fact that we're sentencing children.
I think I don't have a ton of time left, so I think Rob might be the quicker one.
Who do we have
Yes.
left? Arya and Rob. Yes, do Rob next, and then if there's time, we can do quickfire Arya.
Yeah, or we could
I
just save
thought
Arya.
Sansa would be quickfire.
We could do like a
but...
catch-up round at the beginning of the next one and do like Arya, Jaime, Joffrey.
Yeah, we could. Rob. Let me get Rob up. So, yes. Ah, wait, hold on. Where did it go? There we go. I lost my Canva for a second. So first off, let's do the obvious. Wildlife crime. The most important one. 1 month. He does not have a license for Grey Wind, and yet.
I think. What other crimes does Rob do? Treason, technically.
Let's have a look. So we didn't count the execution of Garrett as a murder, which I continue to disagree with, and I will try to sue the court for that, but that's a later date. Treason for rising up as king
Sedition,
in the north.
yeah.
Are we counting that though?
I mean, why wouldn't we?
So apologies for the plane going overhead.
I've been circled by garbage trucks, so you're fine.
Are you streaming from the streets?
Yes, typically. I don't
I'm
really have a
imagining
house.
you like cornered, literally being circled by garbage men.
Yep. I think we should count sedition.
Okay. Yeah, we counted treason in Tywin's one, so why not? Well, everyone has a different rule apparently. Sedition. Okay. Sedition sentence.
I do realize that is exactly opposed to my logic on not charging Ned with treason earlier today, but
I'm fully aware, but I think at this point, yeah. Seditious conspiracy. Ooh. It's not conspiracy, it's full on.
Samuel Blackwood brings up the
What was
excellent
the
point
sentence,
that
damn it?
he murdered Northmen and Freys alike at the Red Wedding.
That's, I think, self-defense.
No. The Red
Oh,
Wedding
I see
was
what you mean.
self-defense
You
in
mean when
response to Rob trying to kill them.
You mean when he transformed into a wolf and then murdered Wendell Manderley
Correct.
and several of his own
And
men
Jingle
before
Bell.
being shot? Yeah, I forgot about the phrase furry fan fiction about Robb Stark.
That is what that is. Wow. The phrase invented furry.
I love how
fanfiction.
that's their argument. Their argument for their defense of the Red Wedding is, okay, hear me out. Robb Stark turned into a wolf. Nope, sit down, listen. He turned into a wolf and he killed everyone, and then we killed him. That's it. Please marry me. / my daughter. / my son.
Somebody in the chat brings up breach of contract, but that is not a crime. That is a civil action.
Boom.
He did
Lawyer.
attack that tree in the show, which is worth noting. David brings up.
Sedition, treason is going to be life imprisonment, so
Sure.
probably without parole. So, but that's not as fun as assigning actual years. So let's say 30 years, right? Let's go just
Yeah, that's valid.
big old 30. Technically an underage marriage, but both parties were minors, so
I think again we
I
would
think
have had to
either are
count
legally
Sansa for that.
culpable. Yeah, well, no, yeah, we counted Tyrion for it.
Well, we
Child
counted
marriage.
Tyrion for something else that I'm not going to bring up.
That's true. We didn't take child marriage into account. Okay. That's another.
We're
Yeah,
not
we
reopening
can
that
adjust
book.
that. Anyway. No, we want to say monetize. Okay. Now I would say first degree murder regarding Rickard Karstark
Yes.
because no, you can't say yes. You're the one who argued against Ned Stark killing Garrod as
Yeah, he
being.
killed him. I think that should count.
That's ridiculous. Double standards.
It's if I acknowledge
I
it as a
cannot
double
stress this enough.
standard, it makes it
It doesn't
okay.
matter that he's a figure of authority. We're taking him from Westerosi law, plopping him into modern day common law. He chopped off a man's head. You're just a Ned simp, aren't you?
Hmm?
What the hell?
Yes.
Okay, murder, first degree murder. Let's go 20. Um, I can't think of anything else.
I think
Can
that's
you?
it.
Robin, that bad?
No.
Unless anyone in the chat has anything to 50 years and 1 month.
The fucking wildlife crimes are just
I
great.
went deep for this one.
Yeah, I'm proud of
Usually,
you.
I do not prepare in advance.
Except
I
when
am
it
the late
comes to
Lord Haven, but
wildlife crimes.
for this time, for this one, I was like, I'm actually gonna dive into what these crimes are and what the sentences are. Kidnapping and holding Jamie hostage. I think
That's war.
that counts as prisoner of war. There's literally no consistency to anything we're saying.
Oh yeah.
Rob. That's not a question. That's just the
That's a
word rob.
question.
I'm gonna vote guilty.
Wow. You're trying to influence the people?
No, I'm just turning to the
No, I
jury and
see what you're
saying, just
doing.
to let you know, if I were on the jury myself, which I'm not, I would vote guilty. Wink.
Sure,
I'm
sure.
allowed to express my opinion. Free speech.
You guys don't have that over there.
I mean, you say that jokingly, not as much as America does. It's not encoded.
Yeah.
We don't have a codified constitution, so it's in murkier
Ours has its
territory.
flaws.
It does, but I'd rather have your flawed system than an uncodified
Yeah,
than
valid.
an
That kind of.
uncodified free speech laws, which means in theory certain laws can slip in, such as it technically being illegal in the 2003 Communications Act to post something online that is quote intentionally grossly offensive. So if you
Hmm.
post something online with the intention of grossly offending, so offending lots of people in a large way, that is technically illegal, which is insane. Because in theory, that means if a comedian posts like some edgy jokes, in theory they could go to prison. Now they wouldn't, realistically, but they could.
Hmm.
But that's a whole other story.
Looks like Rob is guilty.
Rob, you are hereby sentenced. I need a gavel. You are hereby sentenced to
Ow.
50 years and 1 month. Sorry, did I hit your hand there?
No, I hit my desk to be a gavel, and my desk was harder than I thought it was.
I thought my gavel had hit your hand, but you
Oh,
literally did the motion and like broke your finger.
correct. Yeah, I have to go to the
Okay,
hospital now.
are we done or is there time for Arya?
I think we might have to be done.
Oh, Quinn,
I'm sorry.
we have one more
It's okay.
star.
We can
We
do a
have one
catch
more
up at the
star.
beginning of next one. Next one will be
We have
Small
one more.
Council and these three.
My list for Arya is very long.
That's why I think it's probably best to not. But thank you all for joining us. Fantasy Haven, do you want to plug your pluggables? Do you have anything to promote?
I don't have any plugs to promote, but I do have pluggables. Yes. I'm not used to. Okay, yes. Fantasy Haven, you probably know who I am. Check me out if you haven't already. Like and subscribe to my stuff, I guess. I do. For those who don't know, I do animated Song of Ice and Fire lore, so it's just sort of fun characters moving around, and I do like the history of Song of Ice and Fire houses, going into book lore and doing animation there. And I've recently started a new series of videos, which is comparing book stuff to show stuff. So I recently did a video that was super successful, like just blew up. It's pretty cool. Called The Real Bron, which is looking at show Bron and then looking at book Bron. Then for the book Bron stuff, I animated just to, that's kind of my style. It's most Quinn is like the analysis guy. I'm the the animated lore guy. And yeah, so check out my channel. I have a Patreon if you want exclusive videos and access to the Discord and art commissions and fun stuff like that. I also have a merch store which I opened up. So that's t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, just fun designs, like Fancy Haven designs, Fancy Haven coat of arms, all that kind of good stuff. It all goes towards supporting my channel because this is my job. This isn't a hobby. This is something that I do. I quit my job to do this because I'm insane. So it's working out well, though. Is
That's
that
good
enough
to
of a
hear.
plug? Did I shill enough? Do I need to say more?
I think you're good.
What else do I have? Do I have anything else?
In terms of my stuff,
Someone sponsor me, please. I'd like to be
I'll
sponsored.
sponsor you.
Thank you. Someone offered
Um,
to buy. Sorry to interrupt. Someone offered to buy my channel in an email. Someone was like, "I want to buy Fantasy Haven." I haven't responded, but
yeah, and if you
go
enjoyed
on.
this stream, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel if you want as well. You probably are already, but I appreciate it. I will likely have a video coming out on Sunday. It almost exists. This week I will be covering. I think the topic will be how likely I think each character is to die in the Winds of Winter in terms of point of view characters,
Mm.
which should be pretty fun. And then, yeah, I just wanted to also thank you all for the support and subscribing. I saw this morning I hit 29K, which is not bad.
Let's go. You show off. I'm catching up. I'm catching up, Quinn.
Yes, you are.
I'm gonna
I
beat
believe in you. All right. Well, thank you all again so much for watching, and we will do this
Yep.
again.
Thank you. We certainly will. Sorry for all of my ADHD interruptions as usual, but I think the people are used to it.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon.
Ironically, I interrupted you by saying it.
Yeah, let's see.